Hey, Premier. I'm anticipating a response from the Liberals here, just based on reading your speech, that there's not much new in it. How would you respond to that criticism that there isn't a lot of new items listed in your throne speech?
Well, throne speeches historically, and I've been here for many of them, lay out the plan for the government in the coming year. That roadmap is then filled out by a budget that will be tabled in 2 weeks' time, that will lay out where we plan to put public monies to meet the needs and challenges of the 2022. And I would also highlight that there were a number of initiatives that were announced today, the creation of a new ministry to address lands, water, and natural resource stewardship, a standalone forestry ministry. These are administrative organizational ideas, but they will have a profound impact on our economy, on our rural communities particularly, but right across the board. Doing a better job of rationalizing and streamlining processes is good for business, good for workers, good for communities, and good for the environment. It was a massive job over the past 12 months for the professional public service to look at how they could reorganize themselves on the land base to ensure that we're getting best outcomes for people, for the land, and for communities. And so I'm very happy to see that work coming to a conclusion and the beginning of the work ahead for that ministry. We also talked about the economic plan that Minister Cowan will be tabling next week, and talked about the challenges that we face on continuing to have the strongest economy in the country. It doesn't happen by accident. It happens by having investor confidence. It happens by having a skilled workforce. And it happens by making sure that government can be responsive to new ideas as they come forward. You heard in the throne speech discussions about agriculture and agri-tech. That will transform our supply chains and make sure that we can do our level best in the years ahead to feed ourselves, taking advantage of the agricultural land reserve and the far-sighted vision of those who came before us to protect that land, not for development, but for the creation of food. And we need to find new and innovative ways to create more food for the people in British Columbia and other markets. I'm reminded of how little Netherlands produces not just food for themselves, not just flowers for the world, but an extraordinary amount of food for their neighbors on a small footprint. Here in British Columbia, we have, it became abundantly clear through the floods in the Fraser Valley and at Sumas Prairie particularly, that our agriculture sector is strong, it's resilient, but it needs to be there for the long term. I'm grateful that we were able to put almost $250 million into the agricultural recovery programs coming from the floods. And there's much more to come in terms of our infrastructure, protecting those communities going forward, working with our federal partners. And that's just a bit of it. I think if you go back and read the speech, you'll find that there's a whole bunch of information in there about how we're going to work together to build a stronger, better British Columbia.